it couldn't have been settled, but I can't be cool with you after you just said what you said. Yeah. Like, it was really bad.
Matter of fact, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to interview. Now, Killer, tell me how you would really say it.
All our shit be going viral real quick, just so before I even get to the J Prince shit. All our shit go viral, so niggas never see how this started. They only see how it be getting finished. So for the people that's catching up on this who have no idea how this started, we gave our opinion of the fight. We said the shit was boring. All of us said it was boring. There's 100 niggas saying it's boring. But because our shit go viral, niggas think that they can keep talking to us. Shakur Stevenson told us to get the strap or strap up, or better yet, put the gloves on so he could fight us. We said what he said, and then he started going crazy. Everything was over with. Me personally, I'm sick of it before I even address the J Prince thing. I'm sick of it. I left it alone. We have not talked about a nigga this much before his fights or after his fights, in none of his fights. However many fights he had in his career. This is the most traction the nigga ever got. My nigga, I had a meeting on Friday, this is no cap, with some of my Jewish partners. Shout out to Shapiro's, I won't give you first name, shout out to my partners. Before the meeting started, they asked me, Murder, why are you arguing with Tupac's son, Cam? I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, we see it in the media. You're arguing with
J Prince has a message for both of y'all with your comments after what you guys had to say about Shakur. He said, numbers don't lie, haters do. Let their haters say that he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Sorry to tell you, it's just a select few of you haters. As you can see, there's proof that he has the #1 ratings in any fight on ESPN this year, the top 3 ratings since 2022. And to all of you haters who want to escalate that hate outside of the ring, I'm Shakur's manager and I handle all his business outside of the ring. In other words, Cam and Mace, I will fade all his shots and take all bets.
Yeah, chill, Killer. I got this one. I got this one.
All right, go ahead.
I got this one. You gonna take all his fades and take all his shots and you handle everything out the ring. All right. So then we talking to you then, all right? We starting with you. Since you the big homie, we starting with you. That's how it goes around here. I want to just start off by saying you are so, like, lacking self-awareness. Like, when you give such a lackluster performance and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance, pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like or to tell Cam what he should like. That's not your place. Like, art is subjective, right? So if art is subjective and I don't like something, you can't really get mad at us because we don't like something. And you're standing there with two Hall of Fame boxers that are constantly letting their hands go. So I think is crazy that Andre Ward let his hands go. Terrence Crawford definitely let his hands go. And then you walk out with these boxers and you don't tell the next guy to let his hands go. This is a lapse of judgment. And I'm going to tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't give stuff that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Niggas would tell me, Mace, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this nigga? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a little, like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo, Mace, listen. Mm-hmm. Around here, we don't send niggas to do nothing for us. We don't pay niggas to handle our problems. Mm-hmm. You got to put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission. Mm-hmm. Nah, this is where the game got messed up when young niggas started sending old niggas out. And just because this little ignorant nigga got a few dollars, He make all of you that's supposed to be real run after his mission. This is a problem, Jay Prince. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street nigga, you failed. You failed. You failed. You failed. I'm telling you this. And I stand, my name is Mace. I stand by this message.
See?
That's the murder unit.
That's what I'm talking about with you right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's...
You can't be 60 years old still trying to be a street nigga killer.
I know they just don't know you like that. they don't know you like that. I know. I think real quick though. I think Jay Prince, he said it. He said it. I just don't even figure out what the fuck. I don't know what the slang mean. I don't know what the phase in the bet, but I take the bet. Whatever the bet, I take. I like that murder.
Yeah, I mean, because when you think about it, right?
Yes, I know. She got more.
Yeah, I mean, when you think, because I just was with Kanye a while ago, and we called Jay Prince on FaceTime. So he was like, y'all getting together good. So I don't even know why he would come at me with that energy. You know what I'm saying? I felt really disrespected by him doing it. Right. There's certain people you're supposed to come at like that, and I'm not one of them. Well,
let me ask you a couple questions since we're here. I'm going to get on my broadcast shit. So murder. How do you feel him coming at yourself and Cameron and didn't say anything to Kendrick Lamar about the Drake situation? Because anytime Drake has a problem, it seems like he runs and tell niggas, yo, Puff, yo, niggas, better niggas, Drake, niggas. How do you feel? I mean, I want you to answer, but how do you feel about him calling you and your partner out and didn't say anything about that?
You said something really profound. He said something to Puff, right? Mm-hmm. He said nothing to Kendrick.
Right.
He says something, and I know you're going to elaborate about this later. He said something to the dudes in New York, but that didn't really go over well.
As far as what?
Whatever kid that was that got the chain taken.
Right.
And then you're going to talk about all this. I'm going to let you talk about it more in detail, but he didn't say nothing to Wack. Like, it's like, so when you come talking to me, I feel like you're very selective. This is exactly what I meant last week when I was talking about street niggas being selective. Mm-hmm. They got selections of who they think they're going to get tough with. So I feel there's a must for me to say something, because you can't be selective with us, because we're not the weakest on the chart to deal that with. We do commentating. That's what we keep it there. But we, cigars.
Okay.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, just
hookah.
Yeah.
Vapes.
Grape, strawberry.
Yeah. Coconut. Yeah. Pause. Lavender. We don't duck no smoke.
Yeah, no. So just to elaborate, I'm in interview mode since you're gonna go this route this morning. Yeah. He did say something back to Wack, but Wack said some of the most disrespectful shit I ever heard. Yeah. I've been doing this 27 years. It was wild. It's so disrespectful, I'm not gonna repeat it. Mm-hmm. But he squashed it. After, like, for Wack would have said that, I mean, and I'm broadcast cam right now. I don't know if he couldn't have been subtle, but I can't be cool with you after he just said what you said. Yeah. Like, it was really bad.
Matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna interview. Now, Killer, tell me how you would really say it.
All our shit be going viral real quick, just so before I even get to the Jay Prince shit. All our shit go viral, so niggas never see how this started. They only see how it be getting finished. So for the people that's catching up on this who have no idea how this started, we gave our opinion of the fight. We said the shit was boring. All of us said it was boring. It's 100 niggas saying it's boring. But because our shit go viral, niggas think that they could keep talking to us. Shakur Stevenson told us to get the strap or strap up, or better yet, put the gloves on so he could fight us. We said what he said, and then he started going crazy. Everything was over with. Me personally, I'm sick of it before I even address the Jay Prince thing. I'm sick of it. I left it alone. We have not talked about a nigga this much before his fights or after his fights, in none of his fights. However many fights he had in his career. This is the most traction the nigga ever got. My nigga, I had a meeting on Friday, this is no cap, with some of my Jewish partners. Shout out to Shapiro's, I won't give you first name, shout out to my partners. Before the meeting started, they asked me, Murder, why are you arguing with Tupac's son, Cam? I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, we see it in the media, you're arguing with ain't that Tupac? So I said, that's not, no, his first name is Shakur, not lie. He said, well, what does he do? I said, no, never mind. They didn't even know. They never heard of the nigga.
Yeah.
But because we keep talking about the nigga.
We don't keep talking about it.
Exactly. You know what it is? Our clips go viral all week. So it don't stop. It ain't, once we say it, it's viral all week.
Oh, okay.
So word to everything I love. I swear to God, after I got off that meeting, I said to myself, I'm leaving this shit alone, bro, because niggas don't even know this nigga. If you don't know, I don't mind, keep going.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this don't make no sense. So what happened is Saturday night, I guess they interviewed him, and he was like, yeah, is everything cool with you and Mason, with Mason Cam and all that, Fuck them bitch ass niggas. Them niggas are still bitch ass niggas, ain't nothing changed. This is what he said Saturday night. This is a week after the fight. So the niggas who run my social media page, or our social media page, they got the same humor that we got.
Yeah.
They start putting up pictures of him when he's crying in the Olympics, whatever. The next day is when Jay Prince just say what she wrote. Hey, yo, my man, listen, James, let me explain something to you, bro. Mace said it exactly like, you 60, nigga. You 60. What are you talking about? What are you, bro? I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. When you had Shakur with you, when you line Young Boy NBA up, why the fuck you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got Young Boy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. Young Boy NBA told y'all niggas eat a dick. This is what he said. This is what Young Boy NBA said. Wack 100 was the most disrespectful. Wild disrespectful. I ain't even gonna repeat the shit Wack 100 said. Mad disrespectful. Drake is beefing with Kendrick Lamar as we speak. I have not heard, this is the first time Drake got into some shit and I ain't hear you say shit to Kendrick Lamar now. Why do you think that you could tell us what we can and cannot say, my nigga? Control your nigga. Control that nigga. Ain't nobody gonna tell a nigga, get the strap, and then we gonna sit there and be like, hey, I think we should shut up. Nah, nigga. This is not 1982, bro. You cannot sit here and tell niggas get the strap and then niggas be quiet. Nobody know that part because our shit just be going viral. You bugging, James. You bugging, my nigga. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know what bet you talking about or all that other slang down. Bet it. Whatever bet you talking about, bet it. I don't know what, bet it. Bet it. You wanna bet it? I don't know what to bet it.
Before we even move on from this, I gotta ask, do you guys feel like there's a beef? Because there's literally a full-on article, even from Billboard, talking about, the Shakur versus Mason Cameron beef explained, giving timeline and timestamps and posts. Do you guys even feel like there's a beef, or you guys really feel like it was never that big of a deal?
No, I don't think it was a beef at all. I think we're gonna continue to do exactly what we do. Before we slow down, we're gonna pick up the speed. We're definitely not slowing down for nobody. Anything come across this desk, we are responsible to tell the truth and to tell it exactly the way it is. We're not gonna ever sugarcoat something for anybody that comes across this platform. And so make sure when your sports come across us, that it comes across us the way you want it to be heard, because when we see a fight, we have to call it the way we call it. When we see basketball, we got to call it the way we call it, and we're not changing for nobody. That's what makes us different.
And that's really the best take, to be totally honest with you. Look, a great take is this, listen, and that was a great take, Mace. When I put out an album, or Mace puts out an album, if somebody don't like it, we're not running around chasing down everybody that don't like the album.
Yeah.
If you don't like the album, then you don't like the album. We can't sit here and threaten niggas. Yo, You don't like my album, get the strap. What? What are you talking about? Yo, when I see you, I'm gonna fuck you up because you ain't like my album. Your craft is your craft. If you're not good or not exciting at your craft, and niggas is saying that, that's niggas' opinion.
Yeah.
Just like we're entertainers, if nigga don't like our music, then we can't sit there and chase down everybody that don't like our music.
And I don't think we need to explain nothing. I don't like explaining myself to niggas. Whatever. It is what it is, like we said.
And no, the reason, on some G shit murder, I promise you I was leaving this alone. But yesterday, it started being all over the blogs and being everywhere else. I'm like, I'm not responding to this nonsense. Because just like Stat said, Billboard is publishing this. And this is not, I'm talking to y'all, not even the audience. Honestly, when have we talked about this nigga this much in the media? I'm talking about any fight. You can sit there, any fight he had.
No, at one point we were saying that he would be a good match for Tank, and when he was fighting good, we spoke of him as he was fighting good. When he fought bad, I spoke of him as he fought bad.
Nah,
I don't change. I keep the same energy.
You can sit. I'm talking about this long. Pause.
Yeah, we haven't.
Right.
Never.
Or any other fighter.
We don't talk about nobody like that.
Bro, I'm talking about this is. All right, Buster, this is what I'm saying. I get what you're saying. The fight was a week and change ago, bro.
Yeah.
This is still, what did you talk about? To me, niggas is using this for publicity. To be totally honest with you, my personal opinion is because you didn't get this much traction before any fight, let alone after a fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is publicity, and you're not using niggas for publicity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, look, this is dead serious, and I know niggas gonna think I'm clowning and joking or anything else. If niggas was smart, call us to promote your fight. You don't need De La Hoya. You don't need Bob Arum. You don't need Eddie Hearn. This is the most traction niggas got. But niggas is emotional.
Yeah.
We nigga pay-per-view. Secondly, real quick before
that might be a great idea.
No, it's a fantastic
Not just
idea.
promote it. We should be sitting there commentating when he fights.
Yes. Now they gonna be mad at that. But we can promote it. We could be a promoter, nigga.
Yeah.
Listen, you never got this much traction. We could, dead serious. I know it's gonna be like, oh, niggas is good. Think about it. You in Billboard. You ever been in Billboard, nigga? You in Billboard. You on TMZ.
You made it.
You made it, nigga. You made it. You made it. Nigga, you made it. You're welcome.
You made it.
You never been on TMZ outside of boxing. You never been in This is Billboard. We Billboard niggas. We brought you along. We should I know you're gonna be like, oh, niggas troll. Nah, I'm serious. Think about your next fight. Think about it, like real quick, right? Your next fight. And James Prince is a businessman. He should understand this. And I know he got other shit to do. This kid, I know you gotta have other shit to do, nigga. You got to. Think about it. You give us your fight, your next fight. 3-4 weeks before your fight start, we talk about pillow hands fighting this week. Get your pillows ready. Nigga, we gonna get your shit lit. Because Jay Prince, the way it started, Jay Prince read the numbers from your fight. And he turned the comments off because the comments was going crazy. I read it when I was on the way to work. And he's like the most watched boxing match this year on ESPN. And all the comments, every comment.
ESPN is free.
That's what they said. They said this isn't pay-per-view. Nigga said this ain't pay-per-view. Every comment was talking about it's free. It's like, bro, why would you show the free numbers as part of the cable provider? It comes with the you ain't gotta push order and do you want to accept $9.79? Nah, nigga, it's free. Posting them numbers didn't mean nothing, bro. Nothing. If you need help, we're here. We got you here right now. It's a week and think about it. It's a week and a half after the fight, and we still talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do big homies, bro. I don't do that.
And there you have it.
If you have been anywhere near boxing Twitter, sports YouTube, or hip-hop blogs this week, you already know something messy is unfolding between two of the culture's loudest media voices and one of the most powerful men in the history of the music business. This is the story of how a simple opinion about a boxing match turned into a full-blown back and forth involving a Hall of Fame boxing promoter, two rap veterans turned media personalities, and a young undefeated fighter who is suddenly getting more attention for what is happening outside the ring than what happened inside it. Stick around, because by the end of this video you are going to understand exactly how this thing started, why it escalated the way it did, and why the people at the center of it are now arguing about whether there is even a beef to talk about in the first place. Let's set the scene. Every week, a popular sports and culture commentary show hosted by two well-known former rap artists breaks down major moments in boxing, basketball, and entertainment. It's become appointment viewing for a certain type of viewer, the kind who wants their sports takes delivered with personality, humor, and zero filter. A few weeks back, that show turned its attention to a nationally televised boxing match involving a young, talented, undefeated fighter. The fight aired on a major sports network, and like they do with almost every fight, the hosts gave their honest reaction. Their take was simple. They thought the fight was boring. Not a hit piece, not a personal attack, just two commentators saying what a lot of casual viewers were already saying online, that the pace of the fight didn't deliver the excitement people were hoping for. Now, normally that kind of commentary would come and go the way sports opinions always do. Somebody says a fight was slow, somebody else disagrees, the internet argues for a day, and everybody moves on to the next event. But this time it didn't fade away, because the fighter himself decided to respond, and he did not respond quietly. According to the two hosts, the fighter came back publicly and challenged them directly, essentially telling them that if they had that much to say about his performance, they should be willing to get physical about it. In blunt terms, he suggested they should be ready to fight if they wanted to keep talking. That is a serious escalation. You can disagree with a sports opinion. You can even be frustrated by criticism after a fight, especially if you feel it doesn't reflect how hard you worked in that ring. But turning a media critique into a physical challenge changes the entire conversation, and it's the moment that took this from a passing comment to an actual story with legs. Then things got even more complicated, because it wasn't just the fighter who got involved. His manager, who also happens to be one of the most influential and legendary figures in the history of hip-hop and boxing promotion, stepped into the conversation directly. This is a man in his 60s with decades of history in the music and boxing industries, someone widely respected for building careers and shaping the business side of both worlds for generations. And instead of staying above the noise, he decided to address the two commentators himself, telling them that if they wanted to escalate things outside of the ring, he personally would handle it, framing himself as the one who deals with business matters on behalf of his fighter away from the cameras. That's a big statement. When someone with that level of stature in the industry steps in and frames it that way, it does not just add fuel to the fire. It basically pours gasoline on it, because now you have got generational relevance in the conversation. You have got somebody who has been a mentor figure, a business legend, and a respected name for over 3 decades, essentially getting into a public back and forth with two entertainers roughly half his age. And that is exactly where the two hosts focused their response. Their first move was not to back down from their opinion about the fight. If anything, they doubled down, making it clear that criticism of a performance is not a personal attack, and that nobody, regardless of who they are or how respected they are in the streets or in business, gets to dictate what commentators are and are not allowed to say about a nationally televised sporting event. Their exact words were that an opinion is subjective, and if people don't like a performance, they are allowed to say so without facing threats for it. But where things really intensified was when they turned the conversation toward the age and stature of the man involved. Both hosts made a point of bringing up that this is someone in his 60s, someone who has built an entire legacy as a business figure, someone who mentored two actual Hall of Fame boxing legends throughout their careers, both of whom are known for throwing high volumes of punches and putting on exciting, crowd-pleasing performances. Their argument was essentially this: how do you spend decades around some of the most aggressive, action-packed fighters in the sport, only to now be defending a fighter who is being criticized for the exact opposite style, a cautious, defensive approach that isn't landing with fans the way people hoped? From there, the tone of the response got personal in a different way. Instead of continuing to argue about boxing style, the hosts pushed back on the idea that a person of that age and stature would frame himself as someone ready to physically get involved on behalf of a client. They made the argument that older, wiser figures in any industry are typically the last people trying to prove something with threats, and that real influence and respect in any world whether that's music, business, or the streets, usually doesn't need to be demonstrated that way. One of the hosts specifically said that at a certain point in life, you should not still be trying to prove you are the toughest person in the room, especially when you already have the resume, the wealth, and the legacy to speak for itself. It's worth pausing here to point out something important about how this entire situation is playing out. This is not simply a fight promoter defending his fighter. This is one of the most storied names in hip-hop history, someone who helped build an entire era of music and entertainment, getting into a media feud with two other legendary names from a different era of hip-hop who have transitioned into sports commentary. So when people talk about this being bigger than boxing, that's part of why. You have got history, legacy, and reputation all colliding at once. Now here's where the story takes another turn, because after that initial back and forth, things seemed to cool off publicly for a little while. The hosts made it clear on their show that they were done addressing it, that they had said their piece, and that they had no intention of continuing to give it oxygen. In their words, they had other things going on in their careers and did not feel the need to keep responding to something they viewed as a minor sports opinion blown out of proportion. But then it flared right back up, and according to the hosts, it was the veteran business figure himself who reignited it. About a week after the fight, in a separate interview, he was reportedly asked directly whether everything was fine between himself and the two commentators, and rather than downplaying it, he doubled down, reportedly using dismissive language about them and making it clear there was no resolution on his end. When that clip started circulating, the host's social media team, who apparently share the same sense of humor as the hosts themselves, began posting old, unflattering photos and moments in vol already circulating online, poking fun at the situation the way a lot of internet beefs tend to unfold once memes get involved. That is when the business figure responded publicly again, and this time he brought up something that had nothing to do with boxing commentary at all. He referenced an entirely separate situation involving a young rapper, tying it back to why he felt frustrated with how the hosts were choosing to speak on things. According to the hosts, he brought up a moment where another artist had made comments that a lot of people considered disrespectful, and he pointed out that in that instance, nobody escalated things the way they were escalating things with him. The implication being that they were being selective about who they were willing to go hard at and who they weren't. This became a major turning point in the response from both hosts, because it shifted the entire framing of the beef. Instead of just being about a boxing match, it became about whether these two commentators pick and choose who they are tough on. And their answer, without hesitation, was that this accusation didn't hold up. They pointed out that they have addressed plenty of high-profile disagreements over the years without fear, regardless of who was involved, and that being selective has never been part of how they operate. They made it clear that their platform exists specifically to give honest reactions no matter who is on the other end of it, whether that's a boxer, a rapper, an athlete, or anyone else in the public eye. They also brought up a specific and pretty striking comparison during this part of the conversation. They pointed to an ongoing, high-profile feud between two major recording artists, a beef that has played out very publicly and aggressively for a long time now. And they noted that despite one of those artists reportedly speaking negatively about them in the past as well, they still had never gone out of their way to publicly attack him the way people were suggesting they should be doing. Their point was simple. If they were truly the type to just go after everybody who ever said something about them, that situation would have already blown up the same way. The fact that it hadn't, in their eyes, proved that this reaction wasn't about picking favorites. It was specifically about how this particular disagreement had been handled by the other side. From there, the conversation shifted into something a little more reflective, almost philosophical for a moment. Both hosts made the point that at the end of the day, they are entertainers themselves. They have released music. They have put out albums. And they know firsthand what it feels like when somebody doesn't like your work. Their argument was that no artist, no matter how talented or accomplished, has ever been able to control public opinion completely, and that trying to silence or intimidate every critic is not only unrealistic, it goes against the entire nature of art, entertainment, and public performance. If people don't like a song, you don't threaten them into liking it. If people don't like a fight, the same logic should apply. Criticism, in their view, is simply part of putting your work out into the world, whether that work is a boxing match, an album, or anything else people are going to have opinions about. Then the conversation took an interesting twist, one that a lot of viewers found almost funny given how heated things had gotten. One of the hosts brought up something that had happened just days earlier, revealing that during a private business meeting with some of his own partners, completely unrelated to boxing, someone in the room had actually asked him why he was in a public dispute with the fighter at the center of all of this. And in a moment that says a lot about how attention and fame don't always translate the same way across different industries, the person asking apparently did not even recognize the fighter's name at first, confusing it with a completely different, much more famous name from music history because the two names sound somewhat similar. It took a moment of back and forth before the host had to clarify who he was actually talking about. And by the end of the exchange, it became clear that the person asking still had no real familiarity with who this fighter was at all. That story led into what became one of the most talked about parts of the entire exchange, which is the theory that all of this attention, whether the two hosts intended it or not, has actually been the best thing to happen for the fighter's public profile in his entire career. The hosts pointed out, somewhat bluntly, that this fighter has never received this much media attention, this much conversation, or this much visibility before any of his previous fights, and arguably not even after them. They noted that stories about this back and forth started appearing in major entertainment and music publications, the kind of outlets that typically don't cover boxing at all, and that entertainment news outlets picked it up as well. In other words, whether anyone wanted to admit it or not, the controversy had pushed this fighter's name into spaces it had never reached before. That observation led to a genuinely interesting pitch from the hosts, one that shows just how quickly a rivalry in the media world can pivot into an unexpected business opportunity. They suggested, half joking and half serious, that instead of continuing to go back and forth, the smartest move for everyone involved would be to actually work together. Their argument was that a fighter looking to build buzz before a big fight does not necessarily need traditional boxing promotion channels if he already has commentators who can generate this much attention and conversation organically. They floated the idea of being directly involved in hyping up future fights, suggesting that a few weeks of commentary and build-up from a platform with this much reach could do more for ticket sales and pay-per-view interest than a traditional press run. Whether that suggestion was serious or simply a clever way to flip the narrative, it revealed something real about how this entire saga has unfolded. What started as a disagreement over whether a boxing match was exciting enough somehow turned into a conversation about generational respect, selective criticism, past feuds involving other major artists, business meetings, mistaken identities, and finally, a pitch for a media partnership. It's the kind of chaotic, unpredictable turn that only really happens when sports, hip-hop, and internet culture collide the way they did here. One of the more pointed moments in the entire exchange happened when the hosts addressed the ratings themselves. According to what they shared, the fight in question posted some of the best ratings of any boxing match broadcast on that network all year, and reportedly some of the highest numbers for that time period going back a couple of years. The business figure at the center of this apparently highlighted those ratings publicly himself, seemingly as proof that the fight, and the fighter, were more popular and more compelling than the commentators were giving credit for. But the hosts pushed back on that point too, arguing that strong viewership numbers on a freely accessible broadcast do not necessarily reflect genuine excitement about the action inside the ring. Their argument was that people can tune in out of curiosity, out of habit, or simply because a fight is airing on a channel they already have access to, and that ratings alone don't erase the fact that a lot of viewers, including plenty of longtime boxing fans, walked away from the broadcast feeling underwhelmed by the pace of the fight itself. By the time the conversation reached its final stretch, both hosts seemed to settle into a place of mild exhaustion with the entire topic, expressing that they had now spent more time talking about this single situation than they typically spend discussing any other fighter's entire year of matchups combined. They pointed out, somewhat incredulously, that they don't dedicate this much airtime to boxers who have had far more dominant, more exciting, or more controversial careers, which only reinforced their argument that the amount of attention being generated here had far outpaced the actual significance of one debated performance. And that brings us to the most important question hanging over this entire saga. Is this actually a real feud? Or is it something closer to a media storm that has simply been allowed to run its course because everyone involved benefits from the attention in one way or another? When directly asked that question, both hosts were candid. They stated plainly that they did not view this as a genuine, ongoing conflict. Their answer was that they intend to keep doing exactly what they have always done on their platform, giving honest, unfiltered opinions on sports and entertainment without slowing down or softening their approach for anyone, regardless of who is on the receiving end of their commentary or how much influence and history that person carries. So where does that leave things right now? As of this recording, there has not been any official resolution or reconciliation between the two sides. The hosts have made it clear they consider the matter closed on their end, framing the entire episode as something that got dramatically overblown given how it started. A simple, honest reaction to a boxing match that didn't deliver the excitement fans were hoping for. Meanwhile, the ratings numbers, the media coverage, and the ongoing conversation online suggest that whether anyone involved wanted it or not, this fighter's profile has been elevated significantly by the entire controversy. For better or worse. What makes this story worth paying attention to isn't really about who is right or wrong in a disagreement over a boxing match. It's about how quickly a sports opinion can spiral into something involving generational respect, business legacies, entertainment history, and public reputation, all within the span of about a week and a half. It's a reminder of just how connected sports, music, and internet culture have become, where a simple critique of a performance can end up dragging in Hall of Fame athletes, legendary music executives, unrelated celebrity feuds, and even random business meetings with people who had never even heard of the fighter in question until the story blew up. At the end of the day, both sides in this situation seem to agree on one thing, even if they disagree on almost everything else. This entire saga has generated an enormous amount of attention, conversation, and visibility, far more than anyone probably expected from a single boxing broadcast. Whether that attention ends up helping or hurting anyone's reputation in the long run is something only time will tell. But for now, the story remains one of the more unexpected and talked about crossovers between the world of boxing and the world of hip-hop commentary in recent memory, and it does not look like the conversation around it is dying down anytime soon. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay caught up on everything going on in the world of sports and hip-hop culture, drop a comment below and let us know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think this was a real beef, or just a media moment that got blown out of proportion? Make sure to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update on this story, and turn on notifications so you're always the first to know when things develop. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.